Hey YouTube, Jake Kilroy back in the shop to continue, as you see, with the Universal Vise. Still don't know a name, but we are going to commence with initial reassembly. I say initial because I'm not going to do any painting or anything. We're just going to put it back together and we're going to try it out. If it works, then we'll take it apart, we'll clean it yet again, and then we'll paint it. But I am not going to put the time into a paint job until I know that it works. Before we get started, some of y'all probably noticed this little thing sitting here, last video. I don't do tool reviews typically, and I'm not doing one today. But I will say that this little thing's badass. 12 volt, M12 Milwaukee, right angle drill, 3/8 inch chuck. That's pretty. It's surprising. It's so good. I have a couple of other M12 tools. I have the I have a little drill, and then I have a little M12 impact. And or actually it's not an impact, it's a screw gun, a dedicated screw gun with a 1/4 inch chuck. Anyway, and I've been very pleased with those. And I know these things have been out forever, right? I've also got the M18. I've also got the M18 Milwaukee, the brushless, and I've gotten real good service out of these. This one most recently for swapping the jaws around on my lathe chuck. It works out great for that. So much more convenient than listening to the air compressor, firing the air compressor up, dragging a hose around, that kind of stuff. Lubricating a tool, whatever. That is just, somebody should do a whole study on what rechargeable tools have done to the air tool market. Anyway, but this thing, I needed to drill a hole in a small gap. Hold on just a second. I got a piece of this stuff somewhere. Hold on. I needed to drill a hole through the bottom, or whatever surface, through a surface of the interior of this. This is 4x6 aluminum tube, 1/4 inch wall, and I needed to drill a hole through this, and then through another surface for bolting this to the surface. And so, you know, and the reason I didn't pre-drill the holes in these is because I didn't know where exactly I wanted them. This is kind of on the fly kind of work. So, you know, this isn't going to work. Regular drill isn't going to work. I used to have a DeWalt right angle drill that I got rid of when I gave all those away when I went to the Milwaukees. And anyway, I didn't have one. So I went to the store looking for an M18 right angle, which I guess they don't make or they don't stock. Or because as tough as this little thing is, I understand why, right? And so it was still rather snug because there's not a lot of room. And I had to shorten a jobber length drill. Cue picture. So I had it wasn't a jobber length, excuse me, it was a screw machine length drill already. And I chucked it up in the lathe and hit it with some carbide and shortened it up as far as I safely felt I could. Put it in here. It was 3/8 inch hole, which is max capacity, right? All the way in. I stuck this in the hole. I pulled the trigger And then I stuck a board in there, and I used a board as leverage to push down on the screw on the top of the drill, and worked great. Drilled 4 holes through approximately a 1/2 inch of aluminum, 3/8 of an inch, with this little guy, under conditions for which it was never designed. I guarantee it was never designed to be leveraged on with a 2x4. But you know, getting the work done is getting the work done. Or as Keith Finner says, get her done. And I was in that mood, and it worked great. Anyway, just a little aside. This is a rocking tool, the whole M12 line. I've been told that the M12 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch ratchets rock as well. I don't have any of those, but now I'm looking forward to getting them. So let's swing the camera around, and I'll show you what we got. Cleaned everything up, soaked everything, except the fasteners, and we're ready for reassembly. Everything's been cleaned, rinsed, lightly oiled to keep it from corroding instantly. So here's all the pieces. Right off the bat, I want to tell you, remember the label that used to be here? Well, the purple power, it was foaming a little extra. The label is gone, which is no big deal. Couldn't read it anyway. Didn't provide any value. go. Not a lot of slop in there. Missing a spring here. I have to replace that. Get me some spring. All right, that's just a little mock-up there because we're going to have to take this off to remount the bed to it. But anyway, just to look at how that goes back together. There's a burr over here that's keeping this from going farther down, achieving the full 45 degrees that way. Okay, that's 90. Actually, it'll go, I guess with the jaws in it, it won't go past 90. It will certainly go a little past 0 on the way back. It's not marked, probably another maybe 7 degrees. Pretty sure these are the original jaws, given the pattern on here. Well, there you go. Vise is back together. We do know now there are some things to fix. A post to the original video, a gentleman by the name of Mark said that this is a Universal Vise and Tool vise. I guess that's maybe what it said up here on the label. There is a large burr right here on this edge. It unfortunately looks like somebody might have hammered on it. I'll get a close-up of that. And it prevents the vise from rotating fully in that direction. So that's going to have to be fixed. But I think I'm going to try it out before I do a disassembly and put that back together. I'm going to have to do something about this hardware. These there's a few washers on here that are obviously the ones that came with the vise, and then there's some others that are like, you know, Home Depot hardware. So I'm going to have to do that. I was able to replace the overly long screw that was holding the vise on, the jaw on. I also replaced all of the flathead screws on the retaining plates, the moving jaw, with some socket-headed cap screws. This next video, we're going to take some cuts, and then we're going to probably start the disassembly and looking at fixing this issue here, which is probably literally just a little file grinder work. Anyway, look, be safe in the shop. I'll be back with you soon.